Hey everyone, I'm Shannon Bodechon with Timeless Realty out of Georgia, and we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to generate new leads today. All right, so let's jump right into it. So, number one, open houses. Now, I know you might be saying, hey, I don't have an open house because I don't have a client. That's why I want leads, right? Understandable. What you're going to do is you're going to go to some of the other agents at your brokerage and you're going to say, hey, does anybody have an open house coming up that I can go ahead and do for you? And you're going to get with them and kind of do that exchange. This is a great way to get new buyers as they come in the door. Make sure you're taking down their information. Make sure you're following all the GAR requirements for showing the home, of course. But this is a terrific way to get new leads. Two, community events. Now, this is very broad and it's very much whatever is in your area. So think about whatever community events are going on. It could be a festival. Maybe you want to get a booth there. It could be, trunk or treat because it's Halloween. It could be a church event. It could be a school open house, whatever it may be. There's something happening in your community, and you can reach out to whoever is organizing the event, and you can either set up a booth or a tent or just maybe help volunteer, donate, whatever it may be. Get your foot in the door so you can start talking to people and networking. All right, moving right along to three. It's going to be partnering with local businesses. Now, I know there's the obvious ones that have to do with real estate, like contractors, subcontractors, if you are working with a roofer, possibly, or a lender, anything like that. All of those are great ones to get in with. You should have your few that you really know and trust. They do awesome work and you guys can refer each other. That's a wonderful thing. But I want you to think outside of that scope. Anybody who you are going to for a service, you are working with them, right? And they need to be working with you. So, for example, I get my nails done. I am having a service provide to me for them. I need to provide them a service in exchange. We need to give each other business, right? So I'm giving them business with my nails. They're giving me business by recommending me to anyone that comes in to get their nails done and has a conversation about buying or selling a home. So it is an exchange of business. And I highly recommend you start doing that with everyone you see and everyone that you share that business relationship with, even if it's a really simple one. So, number four is going to be content marketing. And a lot of content marketing these days is done through social media. A lot of people tell me, oh, I'm, afraid to get in front of a camera. I don't like taking a picture of myself, whatever it may be. And the truth is, you don't have to market your face. You can market your name or your team name or your brokerage name, whatever it is instead. So there are ways to get around that. If you are, camera shy, that's not a big deal. But you need to make sure that you are on plenty of platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, even though it might be headed out the door, right? No matter which one you pick, I would try to pick at least two of them, if not all of them. You could also even hop on LinkedIn. So it doesn't really matter which ones you're doing. Just get out there, get your name out there, and put some content up. Once you do it, you need to stay pretty consistent with it. So if you're planning on doing it once a week, make sure you follow through with that once a week and post new things for your followers to know that you're still active, you're still working, and you are still in the game of having new business. All right, number five is going to be your email, phone calls, and text marketing. Now, depending on which brokerage you're at, a lot of them already have programs and systems in place to be able to, auto email, auto text, and whatnot. They'll even have some kind of plan for you where it like pops up every day and says, you need to call this person. It will auto send this email, that kind of thing. If you don't have that at your brokerage, there are places you can go to pay for those services. So that is definitely out there for you if you don't want to just do it yourself. Phone calls, however, need to be done by you and, of course, not automated. So just take the time out of your schedule. It's usually, a good 2 hours a day is what they recommend for you to time block to get the new leads by texting, phone calls, or email. So unless you have those automated systems to save you some time, it will take you roughly about 2 hours a day in order to touch base with everyone, especially if you get on the phone. People like to talk a lot, and that does take quite a bit of time in order to get done talking. But that conversation and that relationship you're building is important, and you don't really want to rush that. So that is number 5. Number 6 is paid advertising. Now, the biggest thing here is that it costs money, right? It's paid. So you have to look at your budget that you've allotted for advertising and marketing, and then try to see which one is going to best suit your needs. What I want you to do is I want you to thoroughly think about it and then track how many clients you get out of that period of time when you're advertising with that, and ask them, right? Where did you find me? If they're saying it's from that source, amazing. It's worth the money then. And if no one is saying it came from that source, you probably need to stop paying for it and try something different, right? So some of the ones that are very common are going to be like mailers and coming as like a little flyer. You do have to pay for the postage and the materials for that. Online, it's going to be like Facebook ads or any kind of advertisement that will promote your content to the top. For instance, like a Google ad or Google promoting. And there's other ones that you can do if you have a much larger budget. For example, you can get a commercial on a radio station or even get a billboard. So there's tons out there. That's just a few to name a couple, you guys. But you need to look at what your budget will allow. Okay, number 7 is pay for your leads. Now, again, this is not ideal. Nobody wants to give away your money to make money, but sometimes it costs money to make money, right? This is something that you can try, dabble in it. I wouldn't spend your whole fortune on this, but if you look into different lead sources, you're going to see that a lot of the big websites, the heavy hitters like Zillow, will offer you a lead in exchange for a percentage of the income that you make at the closing table. They're usually pretty hefty percentages. So be cautious, read the fine print, know what you're getting into, and know your value. If you don't think that the amount of work that you have to put into doing this is worth that, don't do it. It's not worth it, right? Look for a lead elsewhere. There are some websites out there that aren't the big heavy hitters, and they are going to promise you leads, and some of them are scams. Not all of them. Some of them are scams. So please make sure you do your research, do your homework before you are giving any money to these companies. Know what you're getting into. Number 8 is to cold call or to door knock. And this is not everybody's favorite, and it's not everyone's cup of tea. So let's talk about what those are. Door knocking is very understandable, right? You go to a neighborhood, you go up to the door, you knock on it. If they answer, you tell them who you are and if they're willing to buy or sell their home, or if anyone in the neighborhood that they know of is trying to buy or sell their home, that you want to be the neighborhood realtor and help them out, right? This is hard. A lot of people will slam the door in your face, and it's not always the safest thing to do. So I recommend, if you want to do this in at least pairs. Go with a buddy, right? And then you can just do 50-50. If you end up getting a client, 50% is better than none, right? So just take it with a grain of salt, and don't be upset if people don't answer the door or if they don't want to necessarily talk to you because they're doing other things with their day. But this is a good way to start those conversations and to get some more leads and contacts. The other one is going to be cold calling. Now, your brokerage will probably have a list of numbers, like a bank, for you to call from. You want to make sure that you check the do not call list. Never call anyone on the do not call list. They can sue you and get a lot of money if you call them by mistake. So always check that list. But there are other programs and other companies that will sell you people's information for your local area if you want to get different phone numbers to start calling people. But again, check that do not call list. Okay, these last two are definitely my favorites, and they're the ones that I believe work the best. So number 9 is farming. If you've never heard that term farming before, what it means is you're going to pick an area. It can be very small, even down to just the size of one neighborhood. You can go as large as you want to go for farming, but there is going to be a little bit of expense here, so you need to make sure your budget allows for the amount of area you're going to go for. And what you're going to do is you're going to do every single thing we've talked about, but in that area, concentrating solely on that area only. So if you do one neighborhood, it means you're going to door knock every door. It means you're going to leave a flyer on every door, not the same day, okay? You're going to space it out over time. You're going to check in with these people. If they have a community bingo night, you're going to be at the community bingo night and you're going to make sure that you're donating, muffins for them to eat or whatever it is, right? You're going to be involved in this neighborhood and make sure that you are present, make sure that they know about you, and then you will start getting clients. And that is a really, really good one to do. And here we are at number 10, which is my favorite and the one that I believe works the best, at least it works the best for me, is my SOI or sphere of influence. These are the people that you know and you are in interaction with on a daily basis or a monthly basis at least, right? So they're your friends, your family, your acquaintances that are turning into friends, and they're the people that you are nurturing a relationship with that you are starting to either know well or already know well, and you're continuing that relationship forward. So if you have a very small sphere of influence when you start as a realtor, I'm going to encourage you to branch out, maybe start a new club or group or sport activity. If your kids are in sports activities, go to those practices, meet those parents, right? Make some new friends. Maybe do a church group or a book club or, whatever it may be. Get out there, meet some new people to put in your sphere of influence. You're going to help yourself socially, right? But then you're also helping your business grow as well. This is by far the best method of getting new clients because they can refer you to their friends that you don't even know yet. Because when they talk to someone, they'll say, "Oh, I want to buy or sell my house. You know what? I know who does that." And they can give them your information, and then all of a sudden you have a client that you didn't even know, right? So I hope this video was helpful, you guys. Go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to this channel if you thought so. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.